occasionally known as the Big E, here in his studio that he likes to call the Sports Barn, because it's actually a barn built around 1900. Not sure that's important, but it is. So here we shoot our little YouTube videos where we try to pick winners against the spread in college football, National Football League, college basketball, and baseball. Although frankly we've thrown over baseball here for football because that's what you care about. So we got the beginnings of the Saturday slate done for college football. That's what we have here for you this evening. This is take two because I forgot to shut the phone off, and of course somebody called probably from Donald Trump's campaign wanting me to do donate money or something, I imagine. But when last seen, we were having a nice easy runaway winner there with Andy Reid on Monday night. We're looking pretty good there. Our Super Bowl pick was the Chiefs to repeat. They're 3-0, defeating the Green Bay Packers. They're 3-0. So right now, our NFL is starting to come into focus. We're starting to, missed, rotten moth. Starting to come into focus. All right, what's left? Baseball, we have our World Series was the Houston Astros as champions. They defeated the Twins 2-0. So they're advancing. We have them playing the Cardinals. As we saw, the Cardinals were up a couple runs in the game one. So, we're looking okay there. Our condolences to anybody. The Phillies didn't even make it. That's how bad the Phillies were. They take half the league and you don't even make it with a massive payroll. That's got to tell you something there. You got a lot of, we don't really give a shit about winning type players on your team when that happens. But then, you have lots of Reds fans here on our channel. Subscriber X, not the least of them. And, I couldn't hang for the whole game. I just couldn't take it. A scoreless game that lasts 5 hours, soccer matches don't last that long. You can watch a soccer match that's 0-0 going to penalty kicks and it's over in 3 hours, not 5 hours. So, terrible game, terribly played. The Reds have guys all over the base pass, but because they have no ability to play situational baseball, they can't get them in. You would think that, it's not just the Reds, that's just the way the game's played today. It's an embarrassment. As I said in the first video, it's occurred to me that if a team from the 1970s played in today's era, everybody would say, oh, they can't compete. Their pitchers can't throw 100 miles an hour. There's no way they could compete. That team from the 70s would kill these teams today. Kill them. They would win 130 games a year. They would win pretty much every World Series because they could move runners. They could bunt. They could steal bases. All things that today's baseball players cannot do. If you took Dick Williams' mustache gang 70s team there with the Oakland A's, 3 consecutive titles, they'd win every game. They'd kill these teams. All these teams that would think they were so good, they'd have Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton up there hitting their 500-foot home runs, and they'd lose the game 3-2, and they still wouldn't have any idea how that happened. So, I don't know. I'm just an old crotchety man that gets frustrated watching teams put guys on third base with less than 2 outs and have no idea how to get the goddamn runner in. That just exasperates me as a baseball fan. But what can you do? So the Braves squeaked by the Reds. I'm not sure the Braves deserve to win either. But, it is what it is. I don't really have a dog in the fight. We didn't make a pick. You're getting bored with this. Let's go to college football. Okay. Friday night, we're going to take BYU up in the mountains for 2 stars. This is really the same theory we had when we played them against Troy. Louisiana Tech from the Bayou. Honestly, I've never been to Ruston, Louisiana. I don't have a clue if that's in the Bayou or not. But it's certainly not in the Rocky Mountains. So the air's thin up there. Louisiana Tech, I don't think, has any kind of history of going into the mountains. This could be a first time for them. BYU's putting up some huge numbers. So we're gonna say they're just gonna go ahead and put up another huge number. Louisiana Tech really doesn't have much of a defense. Giving up 38 points to Houston Baptist. Houston Baptist. This is BYU. This ain't Houston Baptist. This is BYU. They hung 55 on Navy. We think that BYU is going to be upwards of 40 to 60 points again, and hopefully they'll get there and cover that number. All right, now, new business. Let's see. We're going to do Saturday. Well, we won with Florida last weekend. We like Dan Mullen, think he's a very good coach down there at Florida. The only thing that makes us a little nervous about this game is, South Carolina's coached by the former Florida coach, Will Muschamp, and, this is kind of his Super Bowl every year. He plays Florida once a year. That's the team that fired him. So, he kind of gets a medal on for the Gators once a year. They fired him for a reason. He's not a very good coach. Mullen is a better coach. It's not like Florida screwed up there. They did the right thing. But that doesn't change the fact that, Mr. Semi, not very good coach, is coming in with a medal on. So we're going to leave it at 1 star because of that reason. What do we got here? This is a little interesting game here. You like these, could go either way games because, as much as we enjoy the fact that God gave us the point spread, we'd like to watch a close game where, we're not just watching it at the end of the game hoping for a garbage touchdown to cover the spread that nobody else cares about unless you bet on the game. Some of these games, they could go either way. So here, we're going to go with East Carolina. I think this is basically just kind of East Carolina is an American Conference team. That's just a bigger school than your typical Sun Belt team there, Georgia State. And Georgia State's not the cream of the Sun Belt by any stretch of the imagination. They're not Appalachian State. You got a not very good East Carolina against a pretty mediocre Georgia State. Give me the pedigree there. Give me the bigger conference. I'll take East Carolina. Baylor, West Virginia. This is at West Virginia, at Morgantown. Well, Baylor looked really good in their opener. They really looked good. They had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. They still got speed. They've got a veteran quarterback. He's not going to be fazed by going on the road here in conference. West Virginia, disappointing so far. We thought they'd go down to Oklahoma State and give them a game, and they really didn't. So now, coming home, I like the new coach at West Virginia. I did not like Holgerson, the guy that went to Houston. I think they got lucky by getting rid of him. And the man they brought in, I think his last name's Brown, and I think he's from Troy. But don't quote me on that. Well, anyway, might just be too soon. This is like year 2 of his tenure, or year 3. So it might just be a little soon. He hasn't quite recruited what he needs yet to get his system the way he wants it. So we're going to go with Baylor. You know, we're only laying 3 points here in an empty stadium in West Virginia, or mostly empty. That's interesting. I don't know if it'll be empty or not. It's funny. I mean, the way the geography goes up here in the north, where you've got, you got Pennsylvania here, and then you got Maryland here, and then you got West Virginia's kind of here, sort of like that. And there's Morgantown. So virus, whole state closed. Maryland, virus, whole state closed. But then right here in this little niche there, West Virginia, they gonna let fans in there? I think West Virginia's like, oh yeah, we're okay with that. Can't live in the cave forever. Correct. And so West Virginia very well could have fans there. But I don't think it's gonna matter. We're gonna take Baylor anyway. Let's see. Yeah, this is more of a play against North Carolina State than it's a play with Pitt. NC State, what did Virginia Tech was missing half their team, and they crushed these guys. Pitt really doesn't have a very good offense at all, but they have a good defense. Laying 2 touchdowns. I'm afraid we're going to have another one of these Syracuse type episodes where it's 21-10. But yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Maybe NC State's just that bad. All right, Texas. We'll come back with them. Really? 2 stars, the computer says. I don't know. It seems like anytime I keep saying this, Texas is back, and anytime you say that, you deserve to get kicked in the face. I do think that Texas is on the upward plane. Again, football gods kick me in the face, but TCU's just treading water. That's a program that's just treading water. Gary Patterson's been there forever, and he's just content now to churn out his 6-7, 7-6 in the Big 12 every year, which really at a school like TCU, they're happy with that. They're not designed to be a college football playoff power. They're just not. Texas is. Texas has everything they need to compete perennially for the championship, the big trophy. They got the money, they got the alumni, they got the facilities. The TCU simply doesn't. So we kind of think Texas just has an institutional advantage here. And on the field, we think they're actually better. 2 touchdowns better at least. So we'll take. I lost my screen. Oh no, it's going to. No, I thought I'm going to have to put the password in. Okay, we're going to take UAB here. I don't have a whole lot of rationale for that one. 1 star with UAB. If and when they put the number up on this one, the preliminary number I saw was that East Kentucky is going to be a 3-point underdog at home. You want Houston Baptist. That's a team that's played some pretty tough teams pretty close, like Texas Tech, played them pretty close. Put up almost 40 points against Louisiana Tech. Eastern Kentucky, they got flattened like 50-0 by Marshall and 60-0 by WVU. So you definitely want Houston Baptist there. Cincinnati, we're going to go ahead and say they are going to run over South Florida. Not 100% on that one, but Cincinnati's a tough team. Generally speaking, I don't know. This one doesn't feel right. Just letting you know. This one just does not feel right to me. But the computer says, and I've done okay with the computer, so we'll let it go. But 2 stars, but it just doesn't quite feel. Maybe it's because Subscriber X hates Luke Fickle. Maybe he's brainwashed me that Luke Fickle stinks, and I don't know he stinks. I don't hate him. Subscriber X hates him, but then he's a Reds fan. So, lastly, we want North Carolina. Very unimpressed with Boston College. Even the game they won against Duke, we were unimpressed with them. We don't think they have a good quarterback. North Carolina, it's been a while since they played. We're kind of hoping they're not rusty. But we think they're good enough that they'll just be able to go out there and just hammer Boston College. All right, so that's it for the first half here. One thing I left out of this edition of the video, my take on the debate, if you saw that or heard about it, the food fight, the unpresidential, I thought it was a significant win for Trump. Stylistically, the biggest takeaway is how terribly old Joe Biden is. He is just old. Sorry, happens to all of us at some point. Let's not feel sorry for this guy, though. I mean, he doesn't need to take a back seat to anybody in being a son of a bitch. That guy has been one of the biggest bastards in Washington for 50 years. This is a guy that torched Robert Bork. This is a guy that torched Clarence Thomas. So we don't need to feel sorry for this guy. And plus, his MO is he's a bully too. All you got to do is watch his debate from 8 years ago with Paul Ryan when Biden had, all his brain cells together. It was the same as Trump. Interrupt, insult, laugh, snicker, sarcasm, the Trump playbook, if you will. It's just now Trump can execute it so much better than Biden can. So, does it matter? Is it going to move the needle? Yeah, I think it's going to move the needle a little bit in Trump's favor. Hey, good for me. But that's my biased opinion. We're not hiding anything. We're not pretending that we're neutral like the moderator Chris Wallace. We are biased towards Donald Trump. So, there you have that. All right, we'll have the rest of the college football up for you by sometime tomorrow. We'll have the NFL up by Friday. Thanks to all our subscribers. Thanks to Ranj over at Capper Comparison Picks for throwing me on his little chalkboard every now and then. I appreciate that. And we shall see you again. Good luck. Oh, and there's a Miami Heat Laker game tonight. I forgot all about that. I don't handicap the NBA, but I think you got to be looking at the Heat here. I mean, they're like, I looked it up. They're 12-3 against the spread in the playoffs. They were sharing the ball. They look like a cohesive unit as opposed to the Lakers, which I'm sure is LeBron and Anthony Davis dominating and the other guys just kind of there. Tough. I mean, I don't handicap the NBA. I'll watch the game though. My gut feel is, I'm rooting for the Heat. Absolutely. I'm rooting for Jimmy Butler and the Heat. So I don't have a pick. I don't have a pick. Thanks for being here. Good luck, good gambling, and good evening.